Just like its demo, the Road to Vostok Early Access version has a very strong modding scene. We've had it for several weeks now, and developers have had time to iron out most of the bugs and problems they had at first, even working together in some cases to ensure compatibility with one another's projects. Road to Vostok's library on Mod Workshop shows nearly 420 mods as I record this video today, and there could be many more on the way in the near future. While there had already been many mods for the demo, they weren't as robust and refined as they're getting to be now. We've got overhauls, added items, new shelters, mechanic management, new features, and lots of quality of life improvements to take Road to Vostok to the next level while we wait for future builds. It's not even difficult to install and configure them. Each of the mods that I'll be talking about today are lightweight and user-friendly, which should satisfy many gamers familiar with the genre. No lengthy installation process, no excessive file hunting, no need to edit code, and convenient in-game configuration. It's all good news, and what's more, Road to Vostok's developer endorses and even appreciates these mods. He's holding a modding awards competition in the game's Discord server and everything. Anyone coming from SPT will see this as nothing short of utopian and relaxing, knowing that there's no danger of having mods or mod-related media shut down and covered up by corporate interests. Now that I've had time to explore these mods and how they work, I'm ready to showcase my current mod list. Today, I'll show you how to install them and give you a rundown of what I've been using. I've chosen mods that improve quality of life when playing, increase immersion, and add features that I often look for in survival shooters to improve my own performance. PC performance, however, is not a problem at all with this game. I don't use any mods to increase it because there's just no need. Road to Vostok is a small, lightweight game that runs on low-end hardware with ease, even on Linux. If I can run this game over 100 FPS consistently, then most of you should be able to as well. For the latest information about the game, its updates, and announcements from the developer himself, join the Road to Vostok Discord server and follow the game on Twitter. I get all of what I know from these sources. The community is strong, growing, and knowledgeable thanks to the integrity of the project and the transparency of the developer. If ever you need help, that's where you should look. I also keep a category specifically for this game in the Club StarVox Discord server, where my current mod list will always be pinned for early access. So let's get started. It's time to mod Road to Vostok. This is a lot like modding other games, but arguably simpler than you might expect. Road to Vostok runs on the Godot engine, something very uncommon in the survival shooter space, but it's going to work to our advantage here. First, you need to know where to go. All the mods and software you need are on the Mod Workshop site, and I'll have the relevant links in the description of this video. Navigate to the section for Road to Vostok and you'll see all the files on offer with filters to sort by number of downloads, likes, and how recently something has been updated. There are categories and everything. If you find something you like, you can start an account on the site and follow mods to get notified when they're updated by the developers, but before trying to install any of them, you'll need a mod loader and a way to configure things in-game. Like with other mod systems, there are some options for how to go about doing this, so we'll cover my preferred methods because they're quick and easy. Find the Metro mod loader on the Mod Workshop website. This is how you'll get Road to Vostok to actually install the mods you want to use. It comes in a zip of 4 files, 2 of which are OS specific and the other 2 are the actual software that you need for modding. Place both modloader.gd and override CFG in your Road to Vostok game installation folder. You can navigate there quickly by right-clicking on the game in your Steam library, going into Properties and clicking Browse. Alternatively, the other 2 files in that zip are quick installation methods for Windows and Linux. Extract all the files into a folder and run windows-installer.bat if you're using Windows or linux.installer.sh if you're on Linux to handle the installation automatically. Just be sure to check that it ran properly and look over the file names to ensure that they have the proper extensions. When updating, the installer files may append .new to the new files to tell them apart from any old versions. Now you'll need to make a new folder in your Road to Vostok game folder called Mods, which is where your new mod files will go. The Metro mod loader will check this folder for mods and load them into the game. Next, you'll want to get the mod configuration menu by Doink Oink, which provides you with an in-game configuration menu for mods. This is itself a mod and will go right into that folder you just made. It's a .vmz file, which most or all of your mods for Vostok will be, and they're just zip files designed to work with the Metro mod loader, very likely an abbreviation of Vostok mod zip. Find it on the Mod Workshop site, download the latest version, and slide it right into your new mods folder. That's it. So I download a lot of mods to use in the game, and I like to keep their files handy as backups outside of my mods folder for reference and to save time when troubleshooting. I also maintain a mod list with links to always stay on top of my installations, which is helpful in a lot of ways. As stated, whenever you want to install a mod, you'll place its VMZ file into that mods folder in your Road to Vostok game folder, and that's usually it, but some mods will require 1 or 2 more steps. Whenever anything else is required, the mod description will instruct you. For example, the TV Party mod by Bit Byte Bytes requires that you place an additional folder in your user's app data directory for Road to Vostok so that it can load custom video files into the modded TV item in-game. It tells you what to do right in the description, so all you have to do is follow those instructions and you're good to go. Very few mods will require things like this or anything more complex. For this and other reasons, it's very important to read the descriptions and instructions of any mod you want to install, as well as the comments. Never install something without knowing what it does and how to use it, or without checking out what other users have had to say about it. There will often be conversations between users and developers about how to solve problems or answer questions, which could save you a lot of time in the event that something goes wrong. It's also worth mentioning that doing this required reading could protect you from malicious software. Any website can fall prey to hackers and bad actors, and because mod files are uploaded by strangers that you must download to use on your computer, there's always the possibility that a new and unfamiliar file could be hostile. However, there are safeguards in place, as well as moderation on the part of the Mod Workshop site staff to protect you. This advice is good all across the net, but just keep your eyes open and know what you're looking at. If a new mod appears, especially if it seems to be a clone of another mod that's already popular, and it has low metrics and vague documentation, don't rush to use it. Check for comments and other signs of safety. If a mod is popular, with lots of downloads and likes and comments gained over the course of days or weeks, it's probably safe to use, like most of the files you'll encounter. But if you see any suspicious signs, comments asking for clarification from an unresponsive developer, or strange and unorthodox files in the mod itself, do not use it. Just get rid of it and run a virus scan. You don't want to get fried. To that end, it's also a good idea to make regular backups of your Road to Vostok game files. This is an easy one. Just make a copy of the games folder in your user's app data directory in the roaming folder. Put it someplace safe, label it according to the date you made it, and keep it handy just in case you manage to break your game and need to restore to a point when things worked properly. Additionally, since Road to Vostok is a Steam game, you have the ability to repair and restore your game files completely at any time with Steam troubleshooting in the event that everything has gone completely wrong. Just remember that you'll have to start over if you want to install mods again by setting up the mod loader and configuration menu. And now you know how to add mods to Road to Vostok and handle all your files responsibly. Time to move on to the fun stuff. I've built a list of preferred mods that will grow and change over time, but will likely serve as a strong foundation going forward as development continues. This list is designed to promote immersion, improve quality of life in-game, and add critical features that I need in my survival shooter games. Some are more fun than others, all serve a purpose, and all are fully compatible with one another for the most part. Now, there are a lot more mods out there that I don't use, but are still great and can be very helpful. I just haven't wanted them for the way I'm playing the game right now. I may get them later, I will likely discuss them all at some point, but they won't be here today. These mods have worked for hours and hours of gameplay without any major errors and very little troubleshooting, which is just the way I like it. I will, however, be adding or swapping some of these mods for my next playthrough, so keep an eye out for future showcases like this one. Because the Vostok modding scene is so active right now, you should expect my list to change a lot over the course of this year. It's likely that very few of these mods will still exist as they are in future builds of the game. Many of them will change or be made into vanilla features. You can always track the mods that I'm using in real time by checking my mod list page, which is linked in the description. Right, let's run down the list. In the vanilla game, many of the bots won't be carrying much of anything as they move around the maps. Their bodies won't have any of the ammunition or supplies you'd expect them to have, considering how much you need just to get from place to place. Bearshade's mod, Better Enemy Loot, works to correct that by adding chances for small amounts of logical loot onto those kills for you to make use of. The potential loot scales with bot type, and only adds on to what the vanilla game already rolls for a particular body, so it shouldn't ever seem broken or excessive. Use this mod to increase your chances of finding something useful to reward your marksmanship. By default, whenever you're placing something in the game world, you'll drop whatever you're holding if it makes contact with another object. It can be difficult to place certain items close together because of the way bounding boxes and collisions are handled in-game. The Better Placement mod from Tater works to make this process much more robust. Items no longer fall out of your grasp when bumped, and you've got more control over just how to place them with the ability to slide things along surfaces. Bounding boxes may still make it tough to place things very close together with total precision, but you'll enjoy better placement overall with this mod. From developer Romero is a LUT-based graphics enhancement called Feel Performant Visual Enhancer. This is a lightweight shader set for Road to Vostok with 2 preset tones that make the game look a bit clearer and more atmospheric with very little impact on performance. It's subtle, but I do like the look of it. The color tones and contrast look a bit more modern and color graded, which could make things a bit easier to see for some. Not a necessary addition, of course, but I think it appeals to many users out there who want to change up the look of the game without much hassle. I've gotten comments talking about how rare some of the in-game events can be, and there's a reason for that. The game gives certain percentages for how likely these events are to occur, but the actual math of how it's implemented severely reduces those chances by default. The mod Licko's Eventuality from Licko One Eye is used to fix that. Simply put, this mod ensures that the displayed probabilities are applied exactly as intended by the developer and as we expected, but that's not all. This mod can also get more than one event to take place in your raids, which can really add to the excitement or the danger. If you're like me and many others out there, you think that the default volume of the player footsteps is much too loud and lacks variation. With PGML's Footstep Volume mod, you can take control of that volume for yourself and the bots, and it even has values for crouch and sprint steps. I like to turn the player walking step volume down and only slightly adjust the sprinting footsteps, while bringing those crouching steps way down, but that's only for my benefit. This mod doesn't influence how audible your steps are to the enemy, so just tune them to your liking and give your ears a rest. Stop your character from dying of hunger and thirst in the shelters with Splinter's mod Gimme Shelter, one of my top favorites. In-game, time is still passing while you're in a shelter, of course, but it's so brutal to have your energy and hydration fall at the same rate in there as they do while hustling out in the field. This mod lets you tune just how quickly these values drain while safely hidden in the shelters, meaning you can make them drain more slowly or prevent them from falling at all. It also affects your mental health and the cat's hunger, so it's just a great thing to have, and I really appreciate its place in my list. Item Clarity from developer Ave adds a lot of rich information to items and containers and the inventory. It adds color coding to loot according to rarity, places icons on task items with tooltips, and shows whether an item is used in a recipe. This is great for in-game quality of life, enabling you to make more informed decisions more quickly when looting or trading. If you're at all frustrated with weapon handling and scopes in the game, you'll want to look into this one. Licko's Vostok from Licko One Eye is one of my favorite mechanical overhaul mods available for Road to Vostok. It features a rework of the PIP scope system to make it more realistic, brings scopes closer to the player's face for better visibility, moves the low-ready weapon stance further down, and includes a handful of other quality of life improvements that you'll feel right away. It's even got a rework of the canted aim system that automatically activates an equipped tactical laser. Even if you don't plan on keeping it, I think it's well worth a try to see how these features might improve weapon handling for you. Another couple of bonus mods from the same developer are Licko's TacMed and Keymod. TacMed turns the IFAK into a rechargeable restoration item, and Keymod adds keys to the trader offers. Very useful, but entirely optional. Something I didn't expect to appreciate as much as I do is this mod by Domfrag's Recover Loot. This one dumps your loot on the ground where you die to be reclaimed after you've respawned unless you fell in a permadeath map. It's that Souls-like mechanic, venturing back out to your place of perishing to get your stuff back, and I think it's great. Odds are things won't be the same when you get back to that spot, and you may have to face new dangers with less equipment. It's as if after each death, you're actually playing as someone else who gets to loot the last guy who died out there, which is really immersive to me. This could be very helpful to anyone struggling with the early game. Search Loot by Myriazin adds a Tarkov-style searching mechanic to looting containers. Each item will be revealed one after another as if your character is actually identifying them individually. It's easy to configure how long this takes and certainly isn't required for Road to Vostok, but I do appreciate the added immersion and subtle challenge. When it takes more time to loot containers, you'll have to manage your time and safety more closely. I'm sure you've wanted your character to just remember whether a container you've already checked is empty or not. Give yourself a memory upgrade and then some with Dr. Shakura's Show Emptiness mod. It not only shows whether a container has been checked or not, but can also display how much it actually contains. Configure it to show just how full it is and even how much its contents weigh as you like, and stop wondering. Much like with the last scenario, I bet you've often wondered about the condition of a weapon as you look at it. The vanilla game only displays the name of a gun while you stare, but you have to put it into your inventory to be able to check its condition. With Suomi Perkele's mod Weapons and Equipment Conditions, that problem is a thing of the past. It's very simple. This mod appends a gun's condition percentage to its name when you look at it, saving you valuable time and space. This one is another must-have. Your character in Road to Vostok has a pretty good jump, but there isn't much else to his athleticism outside of walking and running. Cat's Pass Window Vault from Kunstwerkel enables your character to hop through open windows when standing on a flat surface, all the way up to head height as long as there's nothing obstructing your landing on the other side. There's a chance it can cause problems in certain places, but it comes with safeguards to prevent getting stuck, so I think it's well worth it to have. It's an extremely useful ability for a survival shooter. This one is entirely optional, but I really like how much it expands on the player's capabilities and progression. Domfrag's XP and skill system mod does just what you might expect. It adds a new tab to the character screen featuring skills that can be bought with XP earned in the field. Spend the points to increase your max HP, reduce the stagger from taking hits, or even give yourself a chance to find extra loot in containers. I do think that the default rate of earning XP should be reduced so that it takes longer to level up each of these skills, but the entire process is already manual as is. You have to allocate the earned points yourself to get those skills, so you could just handle them as you see fit for where you're at in your playthrough. That said, nothing is stopping you from racking up the XP and maxing out everything to become a super soldier, dominating everyone and everything. Despite its simplicity, this might very well be my favorite mod for Road to Vostok. Focus Eye for Vostok from developer Googleov adds the Arma or Daisy style FOV zoom to the game, letting you zoom the camera to better focus at almost any time. This is a feature that I adored in those older games and was an absolute must-have for SPT, so I'm elated to have it in Road to Vostok. It makes me feel like my character is actually concentrating on what he's looking at, whether he's scanning a tree line or tracking an enemy as he runs through the environment. It's also very useful for just getting a better look at items in the world and searching for loot on the ground, especially in the grass. This is a really big one for me. It'll be on my list indefinitely unless its features are added to the vanilla game in the future. Some don't like the game's HUD information with the text and numbers and the symbols, but I don't really mind it, and I'd really gotten used to it from the demo. However, Elegant HUD, yet another mod from our boy Romero, replaces all of that with 3 progress bars and condition icons that only appear when their effects are active, which I think I like even more. It's a quick and unobtrusive way to monitor health and status, which is good for glancing at mid-shootout. The colors of these new HUD elements can even be customized, so it's just a great little overhaul all around. In Road to Vostok, all the doors open in one direction only, and that's plenty realistic in many cases, but obstructive and frustrating at times nonetheless. Use the Fixed Doors mod by Modibo to get them swinging both inward and outward. There's not much else to say about this one except that I appreciate the accessibility of it. It's nice to be able to open doors away from myself instead of bashing my face every time. Also, an optional mod called Immersive Door Sounds from Nullified User changes the sound effect of doors opening and closing to make them a bit more realistic. It's not required and they don't have proper latching sounds when they close yet, but the creaking and squeaking really adds something to the mix. There are only 2 permadeath maps in the game, and I'm sure we all know them very well by now, so having that skull up in the corner isn't exactly necessary any longer. It just lives up there for as long as you're on those maps and doesn't do anything other than remind you of how vulnerable you are. Developer Script Exec has provided the No Permadeath Icon mod, which does exactly that. It removes the skull icon from the screen. You'll still get the sound effect when you load into apartments and terminal, so you're not likely to forget the danger. Might as well get that screen space back. One of the things I noticed about the early access version of the game was that I could no longer open and loot truck trailers. There are a number of things in the game world that seem like logical spots to find loot of some kind, but we haven't been able to interact with them until now. Start checking those trailers, trunks, and code racks with Lootopia from Romero. Each of these new lootable containers will have chances to spawn items using the game's own loot generation logic. Another of his mods, Electronica, goes very well with this by making PCs and TVs lootable as well, with a small pool of new items. The shelters are great, but they're so dark. Sometimes I have to use the flashlight just to see what I'm doing in there, and the vanilla game doesn't give us any way to add lights of our own. So developer Diesel has provided them for us. The RtV Hideout Lights mod makes it possible to acquire light fixtures from the traders and implement them however you wish in any shelter. You'll find each of the lights already present in the game, and they'll work just like you expect them to, with ceiling lights even being tied into a shelter's main light switch. And last but not least, something special. Trader tabs. I've already listed a number of his mods, but he just keeps putting out the hits. Romero heard me wish for a separate tab in the trader inventory for furniture because they tend to take up too much space and prevent more useful items from appearing. Not only did he add that tab, but he even included a third tab for stock unique to the trader you're talking to that increases in quantity and quality depending on how many tasks you've completed for them. This miniature reputation system further incentivizes you to complete tasks to have better access to items that you need on a regular basis, and I love it. I was so excited to hear from Romero about this one. I really appreciate it. Alright, you've got a good idea of what's possible with the mods now, so let's talk about the mod configuration menu because it's a great tool for customizing your experience in Road to Vostok. It's very user-friendly and most mod developers make the various settings easy to understand, so there won't be anything complex to cover here. Open the MCM by finding its icon in the upper right corner of the game's settings menu. Inside, you'll find tabs for each mod that can be configured on the left. Not every mod comes with MCM settings, so don't be alarmed if you don't see all of your mods in that list. Just click on the mod you want to configure and check out the settings that appear. Some mods, like Elegant HUD, come with options for just about everything. You'll be able to change colors of HUD elements, the threshold at which icons appear, and then some. Watch for updates and any announcements from developers to see if new settings appear for mods you've got installed. It's a good idea to stay on top of new features to get the most out of these things. Also, the mod configuration menu may not be required for all mods to function, but I would strongly suggest that everyone just install it before getting any of the mods regardless. If you've made it this far into the video, you probably already know how good it is to be able to customize mod settings, but if you're brand new to the process, just take my word for it. It's great having toggles and sliders that work just as smoothly as typical game settings for this stuff. There's no need to reload after changing the settings or anything. It might seem like a lot at first, but you'll get the hang of it really quickly. The options aren't so deep or numerous that you'll lose track of what you're doing, and you'll be able to see the changes right away. If you don't like a change you've made, just hit the reset button to restore the default. Now you've got just about everything you need to get started modding Road to Vostok. I've told you how to prepare the game for mods, how to install them, how to configure them, and even showed you my favorite files to use. This period is always really exciting with new games, especially ones that seem so full of potential. We've had years with a demo, watched a solo developer's hard work, and seen the project reach early access on Steam to a very enthusiastic reception. Auntie's roadmap for the game has been public for a while, so we've got an outline of his plans for the future of the game, and it seems like he really is going to go the distance with it. While he and his hired hands work to continue development, we have the time and space to explore possibilities with these mods. We're able to see how the game is in this state and how it could be in the future with all this experimentation, which gives us perspective. This is really exciting to me. I come from games like Stalker and Tarkov and DayZ to a lesser extent, as well as a handful of similar games in the genre from indie studios that work hard to capture the experience of a thematic survival shooter. Road to Vostok had my attention right away, and I haven't been able to leave it in all this time. I kept coming back and checking up on it, getting excited to see it come to fruition. It's really fun for me. I really like the environments and the themes, and I appreciate the charm of what Auntie brings to the table. It feels different from larger corporate projects because it's very carefully managed as a reflection of his vision, which is informed by his worldly experience. It's going to be great to watch the game grow and expand along the development roadmap. Like I said before, expect to see the modding scene change a lot as time goes on. My mod list will go through numerous versions as I add and subtract mods, and my methods will change as the modding process changes, if it does. We may not see the actual process of installing mods change all that much, but it's already a bit different than it was at first, so it's good to be prepared for that sort of thing. However things shape up, I hope you enjoy the game and playing around with the mods to customize your experience. Many thanks to Auntie and his contributors, as well as the many mod developers out there contributing to the community. We all appreciate your hard work. I hope this guide has been helpful for you. You'll find links to my mod list and where to find Road to Vostok in the description of this video. There's an official Discord server for the game if you'd like to keep up with the developer and engage with his community. I'll also have a link to the Club StarVox Discord down there. We often discuss Road to Vostok and other games in the genre. If you'd like to support the channel, join as a member or find us on Patreon. Supporters will get access to the written version of this video guide, complete with links and resources. The music you've heard in this video is also available over there if you like that sort of thing. Now that I'm back to making regular video projects, I'll also be making exclusive posts about my progress over there. I've always been bad at keeping up with social media, so Patreon is where I'll be keeping my updates to make things easier on myself. Many thanks to these supporters for making this content possible. Thanks for watching.